listening to Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0. This is Grady Hooker, and after a few technical difficulties, hopefully on the line we got Josh.
Yay, yep, I'm here.
We've got him. He can hear us, we can hear him, it's perfect. And we're going to talk a little about WrestleMania 31 and the Raw right afterwards. So we'll start off WrestleMania. We had the kickoff show. What do we start with? We started with the tag team fatal four-way match.
I didn't actually watch the pre-show.
What? How could you miss this spectacular show of awesomeness? I guess I'll be on my own to talk about this part then. Basically, Jey Uso, or Jimmy, one or the other, was still very hurt. They just threw him into the barricade really early on. He got carted off by a doctor. That was his way to write him off the match. Pretty cool match. Lots of flips, lots of awesomeness. It was what it was meant to be, I think. And it was as good as it could be. And then we had the Battle Royal. Did you at least read about the Battle Royal?
I've heard how it went down.
That Axelmania was ended way too soon?
Yeah, I heard that one from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, it did take 29 men to throw him out, though. I think...
Reminds me of Heath. Didn't I say something like it would be similar to what happened to Heath Slater last year?
I think you did. I think something that...
Oh!
Something that was interesting to note was that they actually buffered the match out to 30 people. They used all 7 from the tag team match that just happened. Alex Riley, I'm forgetting the others. There was a couple others who also buffed it out. So we got the 30-man Battle Royal we were promised. And... The right person won. I think it means something. You go. But with the Battle Royal, I think they kept saying at least the first time Big Show has ever won a Battle Royal. Mizdow got really close. He turned on Miz, which everyone was expecting. I think that's going to finally come to a head probably at Extreme Rules. But Mizdow, I think, was the star of this match, even if Big Show won. I think Ryback and Mizdow probably put on better shows. But the Big Show Andre comparison is impossible to not make.
Yeah, definitely something they need to do, probably. Just even if you're going to retire the concept, you need to have Big Show win it.
Yeah. What do we have first on the show? What was the first match? It was the Intercontinental?
It was the Intercontinental Championship match. That
was a goddamn great ladder match.
Yep. Yes, it was. And I have to admit, I'm kind of shocked that Daniel Bryan came out on top.
Are you?
Yes.
Who did you think was going to come out on top?
Wade Barrett.
Fair enough. I think the thing with that match is there was 7 people in that match, and 7 people who could walk out the Intercontinental Champion.
Including our truth that before this whole thing would have even started with, just thought, he's a throwaway.
Yeah.
He's going to do something big, and then he's going to be eliminated. But the way he entertained us during that feud, it made him as a legitimate chance.
Yep. I think that was probably the best way they could build this. They built it, 7 legit competitors. Daniel Bryan came out on top, but the other 6 all had fair chances. I think the match was super even. Everybody got their spots. They had their chance in the spotlight. And now we've got, without jumping too far ahead, a fairly high-profile Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, you you want to think about it, the right now, the Intercontinental U.S. Championships are like almost on par with the WWE Championship.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I think the best
just
thing
by withholding them.
The best thing they did with this title was the backstage segment with Bryan and the Legends.
Yeah, that was a nostalgic moment there with that segment. And it made me think, gosh, I wish we could have seen just once Bret Hart versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I would also have gladly accepted Ricky Steamboat versus Daniel Bryan.
Would you have accepted Roddy Piper versus Daniel Bryan?
That would have been an interesting feud.
Pretty much every legend there would have made an interesting feud with Bryan. Even Pat Patterson.
Pat Patterson was a great wrestler back in the day.
Yeah. What's the match after? I'm blanking. I thought I knew everything. Was it Randy Orton Seth? It was Randy and Seth.
Yeah, it was Randy and Seth.
God damn that finish.
It was very important that this match went on as early as it did.
Yep.
Of course, we didn't know that until the end of the show, but...
Yeah. I'm going to stick with my words.
But yeah, the finish of that match was amazing.
Seth Rollins went to the moon.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he landed in hell.
Yeah. I want to see a recut video of that, just where he bounces off Randy Orton's neck and it just keeps going. Just Photoshop that just so it keeps going up and up out of frame. God. But other than that, amazing match. That's a theme of this night.
Yeah.
And I think, again, it was really important that Randy Orton went over as well.
It sets up stories going down the road for them.
So we'll go into our classic theme. It's the theme song from WrestleMania 20, I believe.
Yes.
Step Up. And you're back with Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady and Josh. So we just left off. Randy Orton just defeated Seth Rollins. What do we got next? This is where I should bring my notes. It wasn't the Divas?
I want to say Divas, but I'm not entirely sure.
We'll talk about the Divas until we can get the match order up. They were given a solid 7 minutes.
It seemed longer.
It did. I think the competitors in that match did great with making the most of what they had. They had 7 minutes, or however long, according to Wikipedia, bell to bell, and they made it seem like 15. Like they put on a good match.
Actually, it was not the next match.
We'll finish talking about
nostalgia.
it.
Yeah. It was an interesting tag match. I had a feeling AJ and Paige would win the match, so I was rooting for the Bellas.
Fair enough. But in terms of Divas matches at WrestleMania, in recent years, it's been one of the good ones.
Yeah, because we didn't actually have a celebrity involved.
Fair enough. Okay, so now we'll go back in the match order and talk about Nostalgia Mania.
Yeah. Triple H versus Sting.
Don't you mean DX versus NWO?
I thought it was a great match.
Yeah.
I know I saw a lot of people were complaining that the NWO didn't try to help break up the pinfall at the end of the match. My whole thought there was the NWO wasn't there to help Sting win the match. They were there to even the odds.
Yeah.
Make sure that DX didn't help Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the whole highlight of the entire match was
the Dominator.
Kevin Nash.
Nope.
It was the term Triple H as a Terminator was pretty awesome too. But for me, it was Kevin Nash faking that he tore a quad.
Yeah. I saw that and I'm like, oh no, again. And I saw him tweet about it, that it was a joke, so I gotta admit, I was fooled. I
noticed it right away.
But yeah, we got everything we'd want out of that match. We closed off the 14-year... No, it would be longer than that because WCW was running 17-odd years of WCW versus WWE in probably the best way you could. They could have hugged it out, though. And yeah, entrance was pretty good. I liked Sting's as well. Sting's was a little more simple, but I still liked it. Just because I really like Takumi drummers. What match was here? We've missed a whole bunch. US title match? US? I feel like I'm skipping some. We'll talk about the US.
Actually, US title match was the next match.
Oh, I'm a genius. Okay.
And I thought that was a great match.
Yep. I would give that great match title as well.
The only thing that really hurt the match, I think, was the whole confusion about Lana throwing the shoe into the ring. I have no idea what their plan was for that, but I think it got screwed up.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it, to be honest. But yeah.
Threw a shoe into the ring. It landed near, because Cena had Rusev in the STF. And it landed near them. It was like, everybody just was like, what the fuck? And the referee just kicked the shoe out of the ring.
Interesting. I don't know if there was meant to be more.
I almost think that they're supposed to, cause she took her other shoe off and was holding it behind her. So I don't know if they were supposed to break in the action, and they were supposed to be and that was supposed to allow enough trash to give the shoe to Rusev to use. But it wasn't. But it didn't. The shoe didn't land close enough, or didn't hit Cena or something, and cause Cena to break the hold.
I don't know. It seemed she needed those shoes off for the final bump, though. Unless she wanted to break something. So Lana is not Rusev's manager anymore, from what we saw on Raw.
Yep. They're no, it's not that. It's that Lana is filming still.
True.
So they flew her in special for WrestleMania. But they're definitely on a rocky road here.
And John Cena, new US champion.
And so now you have the face of the company as the US champion, and the most popular star in the company as the Intercontinental champion.
What can go wrong?
That should have told people
that Brock was not walking out.
Right there, what was going to happen in the main event.
Yeah, fair enough.
That we were going to have a heel as a champion.
Yeah, true. What do we got? What's next? We got time for one more before the song. Bray Taker? No, I've skipped one.
Yeah, Bray Taker was next.
Bray Taker. What's after? And then just
then the only other match left was Brock.
Wow.
Versus Roman.
Oh, we got a segment. We'll talk about the segment first, just so we leave the other two matches for after the song. We got Ronda Rousey slapping around Triple H and Steph. And The Rock was there as well. I'm hearing a lot of criticism about that segment. I think generally the most criticisms I'm hearing are length ones, that it went on a little long.
Yeah. From what I understand, it hurt the main event.
Yeah, they had to drop time.
And that probably ultimately will hurt Roman Reigns.
We'll talk about the main event when we get to the main event, but we'll talk about the time constraints then. In terms of the segment, though, it was pretty cool. It's probably one of my favorite celebrity involvements. And do you think we're going to see anything out of it? A match or anything?
I hope so, but I'm not expecting.
Is it outside the realm of possibility?
No.
Okay, on that...
But
Yep.
it would be very difficult to do with Ronda Rousey still being under UFC contract.
Fair enough. Especially with the whole, fighting over who gets Brock back and CM Punk going to UFC from WWE. I presume they probably wouldn't want to share her. Okay, so on that note, we'll go through to our current entrance theme. It's WrestleMania 31's Rise.
Getting your.
And you're back with Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, WrestleMania. We're coming back to Bray versus The Undertaker.
Another great match. And I think this is the match Taker wanted to have last year with Brock.
Yep. It was a great match. I'm saying that a lot. I'd be happy with that being a final match. But, his style, or the attire that Undertaker wore, was a little interesting. He had short hair, a singlet, and he had, I don't even know what you call those pants. Pants and a belt. Let's put it that way. Which to me, I may be digging deep into it, going with the metaphorical sense here, has proven he's a little more mortal now that he's lost the streak. A little less phenom, a little more mortal. I don't know if that means anything.
It's definitely, if he wants to wrestle another WrestleMania, wrestle at Dallas, and practically his hometown, I would be okay with that after this year.
And then 32 is his final?
Yeah, 32 be the final one. Maybe do a double retirement match. Just retire both Sting and The Undertaker at the same time.
Fair enough. Entrances. Bray had one with scarecrows, and Undertaker had the plainest entrance The Undertaker has ever had.
Yeah, The Undertaker's always like that, though.
True. He sometimes got a fancy attire, or some zombies going at his feet, or some coffins.
I think it was to contrast the two, since he was saying he was the new face of fear.
Yeah.
But that was pretty amazing, that entrance, so I'll give him that.
Yeah. I had a point, I've lost it entirely. It's just gone. Oh yeah, I heard this might be part of the reason the Rock and Ronda Rousey segment went for so long, is they were trying to wait until it got darker for this match. I don't know if there's any truth to that rumor.
I don't know.
We'll move on. Main event. The triple threat for the tag team for the WWE title. I'm calling it what the record books will call it.
Yep.
That was the most interesting cash-in yet.
Honestly, I never saw it coming.
No.
Never saw it coming. We expect him to cash in at WrestleMania, but we all figured it'd be just like every other cash in right after the match.
Yep.
So they proved that they can still do something to surprise people.
Yeah. It was great. The match, even before Seth cashed in, was great. Everything was great. But we were talking about time a little earlier. It seemed that Brock Lesnar dominated the opening part of the match, And then I'm going to guess that Reigns was meant to turn it around, but because time was cut, he didn't get his turning around time.
He got to turn it around a little bit there, because he was starting to take advantage of the match when Brock got busted open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And things were starting to go his way when the cash-in happened.
Brock got busted quite a few times. I think Brock was busted on the side of the face within the first minute. Roman Reigns' lip was busted, and then Lesnar's face was just busted, and it was bleeding everywhere. And Seth Rollins walks out with the WWE title. Better main event than last year? Question mark.
In its own way, it was a great main event.
Okay.
I can't say it was a better main event than last year, but but it was still, in its own way, a great match.
Okay. It was also a triple threat. So we got 3 minutes. We'll just passing mention things that happened on Raw. So this is your quick opinions on things. Sheamus re-debuts, new haircut, has a mohawk, side of his head shaved, and a weird braided beard.
People, he definitely came back as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of figured it would have something to do with Daniel Bryan, just because Daniel Bryan won the championship.
Yeah. Also
Of
seems
course,
to be
our
having
co-host
something.
said, no, it'll be Dolph Ziggler.
It seems to also be having something to do with bad news.
I can see a fatal 4-way match at Extreme Rules.
Yep, sounds good. Sin Cara's tag team partner from NXT, Kalisto, debuts in a fatal 4-way tag team match, does some flippy stuff, and picks up the win.
Actually, it was an 8-person tag.
I was close. Just let me have it. I had the number of people right.
Yeah, he was impressive.
I think he's going to make an impact on the tag team division.
Him and Sin Cara together, I think, will. As far as you can actually make in the tag team division, based on Vince McMahon's wins at the time.
Fair enough. And that, along with this next one, the crowd. They seem to be a very, annoying crowd in the main event. I don't know if we have time to talk about that since we're pretty rushed right now, but very NXT-y crowd. They had the Lucha chants down, they had the NXT chants down.
Yeah, you had Adrian Neville debut as Neville.
It's Neville.
Yeah, he just dropped his first name.
Yeah, I don't know. We've dropped Antonio, Adrian, and Alexander now. So
yeah, somewhere on the plane flight from Florida to California, he lost his first name.
He erased it from the passport. But yeah, so Neville, I'm going to have to get used to calling him that, defeated Curtis Axel. And I think that was the important things that happened on Raw. And we got like 20 seconds. Opinion on the crowd?
I hate hijacking crowds, especially ones that don't give the match even a chance.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so final stars of WrestleMania 31, rated out of 5?
4.5.
Ooh, almost at 5. So it's been great talking to you.
Peace out.
So you can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling Radio, or our website, wrestlingroundup.host22.com, wrestlingroundup.host22.com, and I'll see you next week.